feels so classic. It feels so classic. 'Cause it feels so classic. Summertime when we lost our minds between the birds and bees, buzzing under blue skies till the full moon rise, playing with chemistry. Baby, are you with me? Oh, yeah, it feels. Classic.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. We are so happy we are back from one of the best trips ever. It was Charleston, South Carolina, and we had the best time.
We went to plantations, we went downtown, we went out to dinner. I think we're here to tell you what you should do if you're planning a trip to Charleston. When we first got to Charleston, we couldn't check into our hotel room for about 2 or 3 hours, so we took a drive to Folly Beach, and it's about 20 minutes from downtown. We suggest that you definitely check it out if you're in the area. It's just a very happening place. There's a lot to do. We went to one hotel called Tides, and it's actually the only hotel in Folly Beach, and it's just a great spot to just relax, have a drink, and just sit out right over the water, and you can just enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, it's right near the pier. Tons of stuff happening around it, including that beach bar scene that they have there, which is cool. It was just a great spot, you know, to hang out for the day before we went back to our hotel. So.
Yeah, and it's really nice also when you're driving up to Folly Beach, there's a lot of souvenir shops and restaurants, not even on the water, but just as you're driving up, which is really great for families. And we were there, actually, we arrived on a Wednesday, and I could not believe how packed it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It was like summer vacation. Definitely a very happening spot, definitely a place to go and chill out. The beaches themselves are good, and they kind of remind us of here where we live in the summertime in LBI. It's nice. They're well taken care of, and it kind of reminds us of Kiawah in the same sense, even though Kiawah is a little bit more secluded and less people. But definitely check it out. It's an amazing place. So after Folly Beach, we finally got checked into our hotel right on the outskirts of downtown. Highly recommend you to take a horse-drawn carriage. There's so much to see in this town. Like, everything we saw when we got out of the car that one day and just walked around for hours was beautiful, amazing. Every corner you took, you saw cobblestone streets and these live oaks with Spanish moss and people's houses that are so well taken care of. You can tell everybody cares there about their stuff, and not necessarily because they want to look good for their neighbors, but they actually just like the look themselves.
I think that, you know, doing a horse-drawn carriage ride is just a great way to explore the city. What we found, it's like around $20 or $25 a person, which is really great, and I think it's like an hour-long tour. The guides are just very knowledgeable and just have a rich understanding of the history of Charleston, which is amazing. Especially if you're on a time crunch. If you're only there for like a long weekend, that's just a great way to do it. We actually went by foot around all downtown Charleston. We probably walked like 10 miles that day.
Yeah.
And we really explored the ins and outs of everything. The cobblestone streets, like Dave was saying, they're just gorgeous. Like, if you love taking pictures like I do, this is the place to go.
Yeah, I love taking pictures sometimes.
Well, of course you do.
No, I had like every lens out, and obviously with her, I was having her pose almost everywhere because everything is like a backdrop in a scene of a movie. So just an amazing place, rich with art, history, and good times too. I mean, there's plenty of bars, plenty of restaurants to eat at, plenty of hotels, and a whole bunch of other things.
So a place that you definitely have to visit while you're in downtown historic district is Rainbow Row. It's about, I think, 13 houses, and they're just different pastel colors. So beautiful. Definitely an Instagram spot for all you people who love Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just a quintessential Charleston hotspot that you just have to do while you're there.
Yeah, the one thing about Rainbow Row is there's like, it's on kind of a main road there, so there's traffic coming through a lot. And to get like the perfect picture, which was kind of hard for us to do, we had to wait a little bit. Not only for people to come by or get out of our way for the shot, but also for the cars to go. And you know, it's a popular place, so you have to deal with that every now and then.
Okay, so next on the list, after we were at Rainbow Row, we decided to head down to the Battery, which is only about, I would say, like a mile down the road.
Yeah, everything is really close in Charleston. I mean, it's, yeah, you look at your map on your phone and it says like 2 miles, 1 mile, half a mile. It's just so close. So what all these locations that we talk about, it's literally right there. Other than the plantations and stuff that are outside of the city, all this stuff in downtown is like seconds away. So you'll be able to enjoy it all within a couple hours.
So we made our way back up to like the main like city center of downtown Charleston, and we stumbled upon the Mills House Hotel, which is...
It's hard to miss.
It's hard to miss because, I refer to it as the Pink Hotel.
Yeah.
So beautiful, just very Bermuda-like, and Puerto Rico kind of, like Old San Juanish is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, the whole thing's pink. I mean, it's a huge building. Kind of presidential in the way it's constructed, but it is all pink and you can't miss it. We decided to actually go in just to check it out.
So in the Mills House, it's so beautiful. They have crystal chandeliers. They have a little outdoor garden, which is beautiful. You can sit and have a cup of coffee there. It's actually a Wyndham Grand Hotel, which we stay at in Puerto Rico, so that was fun.
Yeah.
So right across from the Mills House is one of my favorite restaurants, and it's a very popular restaurant in Charleston, and it's called Husk. If you've heard anything about Charleston, I'm sure you've heard of it. It is a beautiful white old house, and they converted it into a gorgeous restaurant.
Yeah.
So I told Dave, I was like, we have to go over there, because I've never been before. And we were actually going to sit down and eat, but we found out that from 3 to 5 p.m. they're actually closed. So before their dinner starts. So,
but their sidebar is open. It's their patio bar or whatever. So we decided to go there instead, just to wait. It's not like huge food.
No,
place.
They have like little bar foods and you know, just appetizers, tapas.
Like prosciutto and stuff like that.
The really cool things about the bar at Husk is that they actually slice fresh prosciutto right in front of you, and they use a creme brulee torch to heat up the wood.
They have a plank that they put the meat on, and they use a torch to fire it up and to heat it up so that it's it's prepared and nice to eat. It has a nice aroma when you get it served to you. She had a glass of champagne. Right, it was champagne with the cheese platter, and there's just a ton of different kinds of whiskeys, and like the South is huge with making their own cocktails and having their own specialty drinks and stuff. And if you're looking for a place to go either during the day or you're waiting for a reservation at Husk or Pugin's, you can go there and have that. And even at night, it's like a really popular night spot. The next spot we hit after we had drinks at Husk's bar was Pugin's Porch. Shout out to Ray, my buddy from Pittsburgh, went to college together. He told me to go here, and we finally decided to try it out. It did not disappoint at all. Everything about that place is awesome, from the entrance to the balcony to everything inside. It's amazing. You
might be wondering, why is it called Pugin's Porch? It's called Pugin's Porch because it's actually named after the former owners.
Old man Pugin.
Yeah, no. Pugin's the dog.
Pugin was the dog, yeah.
Of the former owner before they converted it into a restaurant. So there's pictures of him all over right when you walk in, which is really cute.
And they actually have a little gravestone outside right as you're walking in. It's small, so you might not notice it, but it's Pugin's little grave. So
we walked in there, and since they open up at 5 o'clock as well for dinner, we were lucky enough to snag a table. They first were going to bring us into the back. There's a back patio, which is really cute, but I had my eye And my heart set on being on the balcony on the second floor, so we asked them, and then we were lucky enough to grab a table up there, which was beautiful because you're looking right over Queen Street, and the Mills house is right across the street, so we have some beautiful pictures even just of the rooftop.
It was great. I mean, you have the horse-drawn carriages going by and the people sitting out on the patio below you eating, and we were there at a time when the sun was kind of going down beyond some of the buildings, so we were getting that nice sunlight in there.
And they're famous for their biscuits, and let me tell you, those were the best biscuits we have ever had.
Ever. I don't even know how they do it.
No,
even the people that work there, the waitresses and stuff say, hey, I've tried this recipe, but I can't get it just as good as they do it. So apparently you can only get the best biscuits at Putin's Porch. So.
However, she did give us the recipe. We're going to try it out ourselves, and if you guys want to try it out as well, we're going to link it down in the description bar below.
So overall, Putin's Porch was amazing. We can't wait to go back and try more of their food. So the next spot we hit was Waterfront Park. It's iconic for its pineapple fountain.
I love pineapple.
Yeah, she actually called it the Pineapple Park, and I liked that name a little bit better because it was more fitting to how I remember it.
The pineapple serves as a symbol of Southern hospitality, so it being the focal point of the park just was
and it's my favorite
amazing.
Fruit.
Yeah.
It's right in front of the city art gallery, which is, you know, filled with international artists and all that stuff, so there's a rich history there. You get a great view of the Charleston harbor, and also many flowers, many trees, many picturesque spots. So this next segment is on basically the plantations that we went to. They're right outside Charleston, not too far, like 30 minutes, but beautiful drives, so there's no issue there.
Most of the plantations are about a 30-minute drive from downtown Charleston, so if you have a car, that's great. If not, get an Uber, rent a taxi, you know, just do...
Ride a horse, you know.
Walk if you have to.
They're worth it. They're worth the walk. It's only about 6 hours.
It's definitely worth an Uber or hailing a cab and going out to the plantations, because honestly, that was our favorite part.
So Middleton Place was the first one we went to, and the good thing about all these plantations is that it seems like you only take one road to get out there. All these plantations are miles apart from each other, so on that same road.
Yeah.
So if you miss one, you'll find another one right down the road.
Yeah, you could definitely, if you wanted to, hit 2 or 3 plantations in a day. You would think they open up earlier. That's something that we were surprised about. I thought that they would open up at like 8 a.m., but they actually don't open till around 10 a.m., so just be aware of that. And they close around 5. So we said maybe you could hit 3 would be stretching it. Definitely, I think you could hit 2 in one day. So the first one that we went to was Middleton Place, and like we said, it was about 30 minutes away. This plantation is beautiful. I just think it's a really great place, even as a couple, to take engagement pictures. Like, it is just beautiful, picturesque, gorgeous. There's water, there's oaks, there's flowers, there's rivers, there's gators,
Gator
there's
country
fountains.
there. They have about 20, 30 gators. I think they get all the bigger ones out so that they don't...
Yeah, because they were all baby
lessen the risk.
size gators.
Yeah, they weren't big at all, but still got some pretty cool pictures. Some of them are up on the banks of the grass, sunning themselves, and people are walking by taking pictures and stuff. So it's not really a threat. It's just one of the cool things that they have there.
The major attraction, I guess you could say, I don't know if it's an attraction.
It's
but
definitely an attraction, I would say.
Yeah.
An oak traction.
It's an oak traction, is the Middleton oak. Now this tree is beautiful. They say it's between 900 and 1,000 years old.
Yeah, it's been through everything.
Through everything.
Earthquakes, hurricanes, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, dinosaurs. So this tree is so beautiful, you will walk up to it and want to kiss it.
Hug a tree.
Hug that tree if you can. If you are big enough to hug that tree, we will give you $1,000. This means that your arms have to wrap around the whole tree.
It's just a very large plantation. Like, you can definitely spend the whole day there walking around. Just great exercise. Like, that's one thing about Charleston. We walked just as much as Disney World.
It's just a very good place to be.
On our last day in Charleston, we headed out to Charlestown Landing historic site.
From beginning to end, just our favorite place that we've ever been. We walked probably 10 miles total there. We saw some of the most beautiful things. It was a port. It has cannons. It has historic buildings. So the main goal of Charlestown Landing is to preserve the first English settlement in the Carolinas. So,
Hundreds.
apparently they used to be the port where cattle would come from New York City, and then Charlestown would ship timber to the Barbados, and Barbados would ship rum and sugar cane and all this other stuff back up to New York. It was one of the big hubs of that trade route, which is pretty cool.
When you come up to this house, like, this was the most gorgeous house.
Yeah.
More, not even just the house though, it was just the
land.
lawn in front of it was just, there was a ton of lake effect. So beautiful, just a great spot to take pictures and run around, like kids were frolicking, and it took you back in time.
For sure.
It really, like, I felt like I was like in the Notebook. And also there's an animal forest there, which is pretty neat, and they have black bears and wolves and
Otters,
which are so cute. We didn't see any otters actually.
No, they were hiding. They have this pelican place where you can walk into, and it's surrounded by nets that's big enough for, you know, birds to fly and stuff. It's huge, and then some water and all that stuff. But you can go in there and view from the inside all these birds living their life. Even though we had the best time at Charlestown Landing and expended so much energy there walking 10 miles or whatever it was,
Yeah.
we still felt the need to go somewhere else, and we wanted to go somewhere else where it was elegant
And just end our trip in a relaxing way.
yeah, more like resort type thing. So we decided to take a 40-minute drive
Yeah.
up to Kiawah Island. We have never been anywhere so nice in our life, and that's saying a lot. We go a lot of places, we love traveling. Kiawah really does it right. Just amazing golf courses. I think they're having the PGA championship there.
There's about 9 golf courses on property, 2 clubhouses, 10 restaurants. I mean, the list goes on and on. It is more resort-like. It's like going to the Caribbean. You know, you just, you go to Kiawah Island, you stay there, and you enjoy it.
You drive up through all this beautiful stuff where people live and all this rivers and ponds and golf courses, and you end up at this huge place called the Sanctuary. And it's a hotel with 255 rooms.
Yeah, 255 rooms.
And 8 restaurants or something like that. You walk in and it is just the most beautiful place you've ever seen. Colonial style with all this different antique furniture around and amazing gold statues and stuff like that. I think it got 5 diamond on AAA and 5-star Forbes. So just an amazing place, so well taken care of, have some of the best staff ever who are super respectful to you. It just adds to how great this place is.
Which is nice. It is very luxurious, but you don't get that stuffy feeling with the Sanctuary. You have the beach right there, so you get that laid back vibe, which is just great. You know, you don't go in there feeling you have to be all prim and proper. You can actually relax. We went there on a whim.
Yeah.
We weren't even planning on heading over to Kiawah Island, so we actually decided to have a bite to eat in the lobby bar. We got a couple drinks. I had a beautiful Caesar salad. You got an amazing BLT.
I got the best BLT of my life there.
With fish in it.
It was so good. Yeah, there was actually, it was a mahi BLT. I thought that was kind of weird at first, so I asked to have the mahi on the side. But those two things separately were amazing. The mahi was cooked in a way and spiced in a way that was just, I loved every bite of that. And then the BLT itself was really good too. So overall, our trip to Charleston was amazing. We had such a great time.
We highly recommend going there. If you're on the East Coast, stop by Charleston. If you're on the East Coast and driving to Disney World, on your way, go to Charleston because it is just one of the most beautiful towns in all of America.
Until next time.